Welcome viewers. Today I am going to take an important session on inventory planning and warehousing system, and the subtopic is forecasting. I am Professor Ashish Agrawal, program coordinator for this program, that is PG certificate in inventory planning and warehousing system, which is open for graduates in any discipline. The first question which I would like to raise before starting the session, that why we need the forecasting, or what is forecasting? When we go for any manufacturing data or any production plan, or even in case of any retailer, we need certain type of a estimation for planning. If I take the example of a retailer who sells various types of items, household items or consumable goods, many items. Now he has a limitation of space. If he asks, or if he keeps or she keeps a large quantity, then the expected and the number of customers do not turn up, it will go waste. And when any item is not sold out, it will bring a loss to the retailer. On the other hand, if the retailer keeps the items lower than the expected demand, then there is a chances of short out or shortage, and there will be chances of customer to go to the other retailer. So this will lead to the loss of the goodwill of that particular retailer. This type of situation can be avoided with the proper forecasting. Therefore, forecasting is a type of a, you can say, a mechanism which through which you can predict or estimate about the future. If I take one example, that in case of mother dairy booth or any milk booth, which where you will find bread, you will find butter, you will find other items related to the breakfast or other types of things. Now there are so many types of packets: half liter, 1 liter, then you have a toned milk, you have a full cream milk, and in between half toned or half your cream milk. So there are variety of milks. Now how you will estimate that which type of milk packet will be sold more or most? Because of health problem, there are chances that customer will more opt toned, but for the growth of children or children between age 5 to 10, or you need a certain types of a nutrition food. For that purpose, we need full cream milk. So in this, in all these cases, I would like to emphasize more on this, because I want to give you a clear picture that forecasting should be proper and appropriate, so that there should not be any case of a shortage, or there not be any case of item which are not sold out. So that is why I have taken this topic. In my earlier session, I have also provided you some basics of forecasting, where we have given you that the forecasting is of two types. First is qualitative and quantitative. Under qualitative technique, we have explained that Delphi method, survey, just like in Delphi method, what we do, we take the opinion of expert. For example, if you want to know that whatever we are resources, just like petroleum or gases, what will be the date up to which it will be exhausted. So what we will do, we will make 2 or 3 questions, and we will post it to renowned persons who are scientists or known persons, statistician, or having a knowledge of all these fields. So we will collect their response. Suppose out of 50, only 10 responded. We will see 10 responded. Somebody will say 2060, some will say 2055. Most of them will go for that, and few, suppose 50% will go like 2030, or some will say 2090. So here there is another, what we will do, we will again send them questionnaire that, sir, in a general opinion, it is between 2050 to 2060. Do you want to correct, or do you want to stick to your 2030 or 2090? By mistake, or genuinely or knowingly or unknowingly, they have given this data. But if they want to keep, there will be no force on them, there is no compulsion on them. But if they want to correct it, the most important thing, there is no argument, there is no counter questioning with the expert. We will take the expert opinion as it is. So this is one of the qualitative method. Today what we are touching the quantitative method. So in my initial slide, I have just repeated what we have discussed earlier, that forecasting is a method to use the past experience and estimate the future. This is a basically critical planning tool, and it can be used for sales forecasting, demand forecasting, and technology forecasting. There are 2 types of demand because one question will come to your mind, that in the class of inventory, why I am talking about the forecasting. Because forecasting depend on whether the demand is dependent type of demand or independent of demand. In case of dependent type of demand, we need it for the complete product. In case of independent demand of products or component, we need for the component as well as for the whole product. I will give you one example, that in case of car, the car is independent. Independent depend upon the qualitative or quantitative forecasting technique. But number of tires, number of seats, number of glasses, number of engines, number of brakes, number of clutch plate, it all depends on the number of car. So they are depending, so they are dependent demand, while the number of car is independent demand. So our forecasting technique will depend whether it is a independent demand or whether it is a dependent demand. As I have told you, we have two types of method. One is your qualitative and another one is your quantitative. Qualitative, we have studied that it depends upon the judgment and the past experience of the pupil who have knowledge about the product being forecast and the environment which is affecting the forecast. For example, I have taken the complete exhaust of petroleum products. Now, in today's session, what I am going to cover is your quantitative. And since the time is short, so we are covering only two methods, that is simple moving method and the weighted moving average method. I have taken only two because I just want to try that you must have quite good knowledge of these two, because these two are mostly used. Then further in session we will take exponential, regression and more. And also the most important thing that you should keep in mind, that no forecasting technique is accurate, that will bring you a certain errors. Now you have to find a forecasting method which gives you least forecasting error. So in coming session, we will also focus that what is forecasting error and which forecasting techniques will give you the minimum forecasting error. So the quantitative forecasting technique is based on the assumption that whatever is demand, that there is a force between the, because the future demands depend on the past demand. That means the past demand forces for the future demand. If the past demand is good, there is a likely that the future demand will also be good. So if we analyze the past demand, we can predict the future demand. So here there are two types of method. One is time series method and another one is causal method. So first we will take as a time series method. In the time series method, what we normally do, we take the historical data. For example, if you want to know the sales of car or the forecast for a car production, then we need the data of the past 5 years or 12 months, that what is the sale data. So we analyze it. So it depends upon the number of observation which we are getting. Another observation or another assumption is that the past observation guide the future. That if the sales is 700, 750, 760, 780, so our next demand will not go above 800 or 900. It will 5% to 10% fluctuation from the past demand. There are certain terms which are commonly used in the time series method. As indicate, it is a time series method where on the one axis you have a time and another axis you have a your demand. So when we study any forecasting method or any technique, we must understand the various types of trend which we get from the analysis of the past data. because by just going through this figure, we can estimate the future data. So first figure is your trend. As you see that on the y-axis there is a demand and on the x-axis there is a time. And you will find different dots and a line is passing in between the points. So the points is the actual demand or the data which we are getting either from the direct dealer or the salesperson or any genuine person. And the line is, why we draw the line? Because we want to estimate a data or demand or sales prediction on the basis of the previous. So we will add the line or we will increase the line and we will also drop a line on the x-axis and the y-axis, and on the basis of x corresponding value of the demand we will tell. For example, just like we will also show you a one numerical that future demand can be predicted. Another type of a cycle is your seasonality. Here you will find again the curve is between demand and the time. You will find various points, but if you match all the points you will get a curve. This is called the seasonality type of a pattern, where sometimes demand rise, sometimes fall. So here we will, though we draw the line as you can see in the figure, but we will also match the points and we will reach to the point where we need the demand. Here in case of cyclic, the period is less than 1 year. But in case of cycle, the period covers several years, 5 years, 10 years. That means because of certain reasons, the trend or the cycle is, the demand variation is either in positive side or in the negative side. That may be due to various reasons. Now, another one is your random. If because of some various reasons we will not get a clear picture like trend or cycle or seasonality or your cycle, but we will get the random fluctuation where you will not be able to draw a line, hence you can't predict it. That happens when you have a some type of a fear of the increase in the price or the shortage of some items, then this type of random fluctuation occurs. Now we will come to the first method in the forecasting, that is called the simple moving average method. In my slide, instead of saying full names simple moving average method, I have given SMA, that is simple moving average method. So what we do in the simple moving average, either we take 3 months or 5 months or 7 months, but here I have taken 2 examples for 3 months and 5 months, where I will like to show you that which whether 3 months is better or 5 months is better. So this is the formula for the simple moving average method, where FT n plus FT plus 1 is the forecasting estimate for T plus 1 you can say time. A1 is the demand for the first month, A2, then up to A T plus T or T plus 1 divided by M, where T is the current period, T plus 1 is the forecast for the next period, N is the forecasting horizon. It may be 10 months or 12 months or 10 weeks or 12 weeks, same thing. And A is the actual sales or demand for the product or the component. Now, what are the assumptions? You must understand what we are making the assumption while going for a simple moving average method. The first assumption in the SMA, all the N past observation data will be treated equally. Here we are not assigning any weight or any importance to any data. If we are getting 10, 12, 30, we are taking as it is. Another assumption is that the older is data, we will not take it. If we are taking 3 months, we will go for 3 months. If we are going for 5 months, we will go for 5 months. It requires a certain past data for predicting the future demand. This is the example from your unit which I have taken, that this table shows the different months up to your 11 months, and demand is giving at the bottom. This is a demand for furniture, and we will go for 3 months and 5 months, and we will predict and we will see what is the demand for the 12 month. So we will use this equation, that first we will go for the 3 months. You will find that D1, D2, D3 are the demand, and 1 by 3. So what we will say, we are getting some value. Similarly, for other cases, different other months we will calculate, and we will find the demand for the 12 month. That is, we will take 9, 10 and 11. We will add it and we will divide by 3 because our time horizon is 3, and we will get 817. Now we will make the same calculation for the 5 months. Here all the things are similar. Only difference is that instead of 3 months we are taking 5 months. And you will see the last equation at the bottom. You will find that in 3 months we are getting 817, while in case of 5 months we are getting 792. So what is the difference? Why there is a variation between 3 months demand prediction and the 5 months demand prediction? This table will give you the clear difference between the 3-month period and the 5-month period. Since the table does not reveal too much, so I have drawn the curve between 3 months, 5 months and the actual demand. Here you will find that if you see this figure, this is again between the demand and the time in months, and you will find that the triangular white color is 5 months, while the rectangle black color is 3 period, and your diamond white color is the actual demand. The actual demand has a large variation, while the 3 months is little bit smoother, and if you come to the 5 months, it gives you much smoother forecast demand. The smoother is the demand, you will likely to get more accurate demand near to the actual demand. Now, here we can interpret your graph. The 5-month average moving graph is smoother than 3-month moving average method. But here is the limitation is forecasting error. As we are getting more smoother, the chances of error are more. That means certain things we are avoiding. A larger period of averaging show that large variation. 3-month average is closer to the actual demand. But if you go for more numerical, you will be more clear to all these types of variation. So in today's session, we have covered what is your forecasting, what are the different types of forecasting method. We have also discussed why the forecasting is needed. So basically 2 types of forecasting. One is your qualitative, another one is your quantitative. When the data, past data is not available, we will go for the qualitative. A simple example is your brainstorming, Delphi, or a market survey. When we go for, we have a data, we have a past data, we will go for the quantitative technique. Here in the quantitative technique, we have again 2 types, time series and the causal method. Under time series, in today's session, we have covered a simple moving average method, under which we have discussed 3 months average method and the 5-month average method. So with the help of a graph, we have tried to explain you that which method gives you the better result and which method gives you the smoother, means less variation. So your 5 months average smooth averaging method gives you smoother result, but the chances of forecasting error is more. In the coming session, we will try to discuss more about more methods, just like your regression, exponential method, and we will also try to explain you what is forecasting error. Thank you.